All right, friends, what we're going to deal with here is inequalities, compound inequalities at that. So we're going to make it look really impressive. Anytime trying to think like, why do I even need to know any of this stuff? Well, the bottom line is we might have some things like this, right? You want your grade to be between 84 and 86 inclusively, right? That means those numbers do count. But here's what you have so far. So we could work with an average right now to have to deal with some of that. So this is the grand scheme. This is what we want to get up to, but we're going to jump into its bits and pieces so far. And what does and mean? And means that if I brought a sandwich and an apple, then I get to have both of those things. Maybe I don't need all of them, but I get both of those things, or sandwich or an apple. That means I get this one or that one, but I don't get those ideas. And you might think, well, we're going to talk about inequalities. So what I expect to see out of this one, right, is maybe a couple of things and we're shaded in between versus the one on the bottom. Right, I get these two values, maybe one's open, one's closed, and I'm going to shade either way. So that's our and or, trying to relate that to that Venn diagram that you've seen before. So here's what it looks like. We're going to graph these two things. So here's my 0, here's 4. Notice it does not count, so it's open. X is less than, so we're going to go less than. X is greater than 2. So here's 0, here's 2. It's going to count this time. And we want to be greater than 2. But what would happen if I put these together? Okay, so that means I need 0, 2, 4. 2 was closed, 4 was open, and it was less than 4 and greater than 2. So hence the word right here, and. Now we have a number line down here. I was trying to keep all that stuff together for you. The new thing for you is going to be interval notation. So what that means is we're going to start at 2, we're going to go to 4. It looks like an ordered pair. Here's the deal. The 2, it counts. It has a straight line right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bracket on that side, a bracket on that side. And the 4, it does not count. So it gets a parenthesis. This is interval notation. We use that a ton in Algebra 2, almost exclusively in pre-calculus as you work your way up here. All right, this one says or, so I'm expecting the outsides of the number line, right? I'm expecting maybe open and closed. I'm expecting to see this type of graph. So let's take a look at it. What I'm going to do is jump way down here and put it all together in one graph. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, at 2, we're going to be open. X is less than 2. Less than 2 goes this way. X is greater than or equal to 4. So as I put in my circle, I'm going to close it up greater than. There it goes. And it does look exactly the way I thought for an or. And then we want to give it an interval notation. Now, an interval notation, we don't like this one as much. At 4, it does count. So that's my bracket first. We're going to make a union. At 2, it does not count. So I get a parenthesis. But where is it going? The question is, where does it go? For 2, it's going off to negative infinity, and we can never get there. So infinities and negative infinities are always going to be parentheses. So that's our interval notation. All right, and if I give you the graph, first thing we do is take a look at it and say, all right, it's multiple guess, choice here. So I want to make sure that these are both open. All right, so that means anything with these equals 2, I'm going to get rid of. And just by looking at it, I know it has to be an and. And if I wasn't sure, then I would go back and check the actual inequalities. But since they put those words in there, then we get to use that as a clue. All right, we want to graph the compound inequality. All right, so when it's written this way, we expect it to say and, right? So anytime it's already a compound inequality written in one sentence, we know that it should go together. So m is greater than 6. Notice how I had to turn that around, right? 6 is less than m, so m is greater than 6. Open greater than 6. M is less than 8. Again, open less than 8. So I'm going to shade in between. I'm going to give that an interval notation. This is the one that we do like, 6 to 8, and it really looks like an ordered pair. Right? So don't let that confuse you. All right, these are the things we're going to work on and be able to match those up with multiple choice as well.